And we begin on Capitol Hill with a rapidly expanding congressional investigation into Governor Tim Walz, and his colossal Minnesota fraud scandal is growing more comprehensive every single day. The top lawmaker in the House Oversight Committee says that based on what they're learning, it's now gotten to the point where the fallout from Walz's lack of oversight, it's impacting every single person who lives in Minnesota. I have family there, and I tell you, they are none too pleased. He goes on to claim that because so much money was tossed away, wasted, and defrauded by that state's Somali community, they're now having to drastically cut a number of services which are in fact desperately needed by the rest of the population. Well, I guess that's okay so long as a bunch of crooks got rich. Additionally, Oversight Chairman James Comer says his committee now working day and night alongside a number of other federal agencies to track down all the missing cash, find out where eventually wound up, and discover the people who are directly responsible for the crimes. And like they said all those years ago, don't do the crime if you can't do the time. He also says that no matter what, they're planning to subpoena all the relevant records and testimony they can get their hands on as part of their ongoing investigation, including by bringing a bunch of whistleblower state employees and other officials to D.C. and putting them all under oath. I think you know the racket by now. You know the drill. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Learned all about that by watching that Judge Wapner program. In the meantime, Comer says that right now the walls, they're rapidly closing in on Walz, also claims that by now the governor has lost credibility with the American people, that no one in our country believes he's able to fix the problem, and that nevertheless he deserves the due process which the community plans to give him. Now, for his part, the beleaguered governor's team says this is all part of a coordinated political attack aimed at silencing one of President Trump's most effective critics. Not so much. In fact, he's entirely ineffective. Furthermore, Walz is doubling down and claiming that the immigration crackdown that's presently taking place in the Twin Cities, nothing more than political theater, which is being orchestrated by Trump to deflect attention away from the president's own personal crimes. Sorry, America, my bad. Apparently it was 47 who stole $9 billion from Minnesota. He's also warning his citizens to prepare for what he calls an increasing number of ICE enforcement actions in the immediate future, including the possibility that agents could target religious gatherings over the holidays. And that's called deflection, with a little cherry on the very tippy top. Final thoughts, and this is the News Roundup Lowdown, and here's how it's all panning out. As a general rule in life, nobody gets away with anything, but a few select individuals will always give it the college try because they think they're the smartest guy in the room. You know, unfortunately for this guy, if he was locked up alone in a one-room cell, in a dungeon, on a desert island, he still wouldn't be the smartest guy in the room. Here's the deal. Nearly everybody is on to the Timnacious one, and there's absolutely no way he can authentically claim, as he's done in the past, that he knew nothing, while billions of dollars worth of fraud was happening and on his watch. 5 years now or more worth of legendary scams going down in his state. Scams which have harmed nearly every citizen who trusted him to be Minnesota's Grand Poobah, their CEO. To be abundantly fair, and to his credit, that state's favorite son, Governor Tim Walz, he may know how to play the game well at the state level, but now he's going up against the big boys. The feds are now breathing down his neck, crunching the numbers and pulling out all the stops to get to the bottom of one of the biggest capers in the history of, well, capering. Yeah, you know the drill. And like they always say, what did he know and when did he know it? I kind of stole that from Hannity. Final note, Governor Tim is now saying that, yeah, there's a problem, but he's the guy to fix it, and he's planning on running for governor a third time. Now, think this all the way through. Do you really trust him to balance the books in Minnesota? You know, personally, I wouldn't trust this guy to balance my checkbook. But what do you think? Drop us a comment. Tell us why you either would or would not give this guy the keys to the Minnesota kingdom. Actually wants a third term as the governor.